There was an awful lot of aggression, a lot of it political, but it was also, I suppose, I was recently married in 1981, and it was the struggles, I suppose, that a newly married couple were going through that full year. I don't think anyone expected to be on strike for a full year. It was probably one of the hottest summers on record. No one had the fires on, so no one wanted coal. What started out to be, oh great, I've got a few weeks off, and it's a bit of a holiday, to then seeing on the television all the aggression, and knowing that you're living on the breadline. You can't pay your mortgages, you can't pay your car finance, so it starts to get stressful, and all of it is part of like the whole of the strike. It was totally different lifestyle to what we'd been previous. You went to work, you done your shift, you came back home, and you thought nothing of it about sort of sitting down to a meal and doing what you wanted, Christmas presents and getting presents for the family or clothes or whatever. To that particular year, you had nothing. You couldn't afford anything. There was like the unions were going out, and for any like families that had like young children, there was like a few presents for them, for Christmas, opening Christmas Day. There was the food hampers that you would get, and but the aggression. I wasn't on the picket line very often, but the amount of ill feeling, that's one of the things that'll stick with me. The small minority who broke the ranks, who sort of went into the mine, the police. Some of them weren't police. They were drafted in. They were army. They didn't have the little epaulets and things on, and so there was that like shield of the police holding everyone back, and these small amount of miners who were going on the bus with all the cage on all the windows, as the bus went in. The aggression from the police as well as the aggression from the miners, and all because of these men going through the ranks. To be there and to see the hatred on the faces and the anger on the pick. I mean, you were talking, wasn't a few, this was, the government made a lesson for the Easington area. There was no way that a militant pit like Easington was going to do well or survive. Easington was made a lesson to not just the miners but the whole of the area, and I think now we see what Easington's like, that I think a little bit of that is the prophecy of Margaret Thatcher. I mean, it broke this village really, just little by little. There was no way that they were going to let Easington win. There's no way they were going to let Arthur Scargill win. It was a battle in the end of the government against Arthur Scargill. It was always a militant pit. It was stuck by Arthur Scargill. He was always up here. He was always tub thumping, doing all his speeches. That was always going to be a problem, because Margaret Thatcher had to make sure that she got rid of those unions. One of the strongest unions in the country was going to be crushed by her. That was, like I say, in 84, and then by 93 the pit was closed. The lasting legacy is sort of what we have now. We have very little left in Easington. Just the pride of the people at the time. A lot left the area. The people who were left still want the community to thrive to what it used to be, but can never be the same